to bring you 10 of the toughest men on the planet. New middleweight champion Alex Pereira of Brazil puts his title on the line against Yusuri the babyface assassin Belgari. Pereira dismantled Simon Marcus at Glory 46 China, and Belgari caught everyone's attention with a superb victory over former champion Jason Wilness at Glory 45. With a division this volatile, anything can happen tonight. Plus, Ishmael Lant and D'Angelo Marshall provide heavyweight firepower in the co-headliner. Welterweight action as Aleem Nabiev challenges former champion Nikki Holskin. And British brute Jamie Bates takes on smooth-moving Aruban Ivan Dannenberg. Hold on tight, it's Glory 49 Super Fight Series.
We are live in Rotterdam. I want to thank those of you watching on UFC Fight Pass and elsewhere around the world in over 180 countries. Coming up later tonight exclusively on UFC.tv pay-per-view, it's Rico Verhoeven versus Jamal Big Ben Sadiq. But for now, we've got an undercard for you, and it is a very special night. We're in the sold-out Ahoy Arena. Todd Grisham alongside Bazooka Joe Joseph Valtellini, and what a night to be a kickboxing fan.
Yeah, we're back to Holland for the third time. They have such a passionate group of fans and a stacked card, so I expect a lot of energy tonight.
Yeah, we've got 5 fights for you here on the Super Fight Series. 2 in the heavyweight division, 2 in the welterweight division, and of course, the middleweight championship of the world up for grabs.
Yeah, we have Yusuri Belgari sitting at number 1, and he's going to take on champion Alex Pereira, who just recently beat Simon Marcus for that title.
Simon Marcus and Alex Pereira squared off in China, but tonight it's Brazil versus Tunisia. Belgari fighting out of Amsterdam, however. And speaking of China, let's show you how Alex Pereira won that bout in convincing fashion against one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world.
Yeah, that was the first time we saw Alex Pereira go 5 rounds, and he really utilized his boxing, and that's what he's really known for. But he does mix in good knees and good kicking, and he says he's a complete fighter, and he'll want to showcase all of his weapons tonight.
As for Yusuri Belgari, what a performance he had in his last fight against Jason Wilness.
Yeah, he came right after Jason Wilness, and you saw him really put on good pressure with his boxing, mixing in his kicks, and he landed some really good knees. There he split the eye of Jason Wilness, which gave him that TKO victory.
So the middleweight championship of the world on the line later tonight. The heavyweight championship is up for grabs. In the meantime, we've got 3 top 10 heavyweights squaring off right here on Super Fight Series.
Yeah, and we have at number 5, Ishmael Lant returning after a year, rising star D'Angelo Marshall, and Glory veteran Anderson Braddock Silva.
Anderson Braddock Silva has a new opponent. In fact, Brian Dallas took this fight on just 3 days' notice.
Yeah, and that's not new to him. He's done that in the past, but he's got a lot of power to put in that short notice.
As for the other heavyweight matchup, Mr. Payne versus D'Angelo Marshall, and the winner of this bout has got a claim to face the heavyweight champion next.
Yeah, this fight's with the veteran Lant against the rising star in D'Angelo Marshall.
Also a very special fight tonight. It's the return of the natural, Nikki Holskin.
Yeah, Nikki's had such a dominant run in Glory. He has 12 Glory wins, and he's had that title defense for so long until losing it to Cedric Doumbé. Those are his last 2 losses, but it's that tricky style, and he wants to show he's still the best in the division.
Also tonight, we will be giving you a very major announcement regarding Glory Kickboxing. Make sure and stay tuned for that. As for right now, though, why don't we go backstage and hear from the number 1 contender in the middleweight division, Yusuri Belgari, standing by with Whitney Miller.
Yusuri, first ever title shot. You have a lot of fans here in the building. What type of fight can we expect from you?
You can expect a lot of fireworks. I'll chase him around the ring, show him every corner, and then knock him out when the time is ripe.
And you've actually fought him before, and you won. Do you feel a boost of confidence from that?
Yeah, of course, but I won him when there was no title on the line. Now there is a title on the line, so you bet I'm going to beat his ass big time today.
Well, good luck tonight. Thank you. The Glory Super Fight Series starts right now.
Current and future champions return to the Netherlands as Glory Sports International, the world's premier kickboxing organization, brings the Super Fight Series to Rotterdam. marking the return of one of Holland's favorite sons, plus 5 rounds for the middleweight championship of the world. All of our bouts tonight are sanctioned by the International Sport Kickboxing Association. The Netherlands National Director, Willem Verdonk, is with us ringside. Rotterdam ahoy! Are you ready for glory? We begin in the welterweight division and about scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. His talents have been on display throughout the European circuit. Here is Jamie Bates.
Fighting out of the United Kingdom, Jamie Bates successful in his Glory debut, a convincing win over Richard Abraham.
Yeah, it was a very impressive win against a veteran in Richard Abraham, but now we got to see what he's really made of. He's going to have to see if he can continue that winning streak. It's going to be tough, but he's tall, he's talented, and he's really good with his boxing. He likes to mix in his spinning back kicks. Very talented fighter with a bright future.
He's coming off a win over Wellington Wega in Amsterdam at Glory 45. Here is Ivan Dannenberg.
You gotta appreciate the dance moves. He's from Aruba, Ivan Dannenberg, fighting out of the Netherlands, however. And Joe, when this guy is fighting the way he can, he's almost unstoppable.
Yeah, he has that Mr. Cool style. You see him walking out and he fights the same way. He's very relaxed, very calm, very good explosive counterattacking, and his height makes him very difficult to beat. I called him out when he first came to be a potential #1 contender, possibly a future champion.
He's 6'4" tall and weighs only 170 pounds, and he loves flying knees, so keep an eye out for those. Mr. Cool, Ivan Dannenberg. Here is our tail of the tape for our opening bout on the Glory Super Fight Series. Dannenberg 25, Jamie Bates is 28, and there's the height and reach edge, which tilt towards the man from Aruba.
When looking at professional experience, both guys are very similar. One fight advantage for Dannenberg, both with very good win percentages, but that KO ratio advantage goes to Ivan Dannenberg.
Here are our Glory rules. 3 rounds, 3 minutes each. Punches, kicks, and knees are the legal strikes. 3 knockdowns in a round, 4 in the fight, and it's a TKO.
Taking a look at the scoring. 5 judges in Rotterdam will score the belt using the 10-point must system based on the following prioritized criteria, starting with knockdowns, followed by damage, clean scoring strikes with an emphasis on spectacular techniques. Finally, if there's no clear advantage, judges are looking for aggression.
Tonight we have open scoring. You'll know the actual judges' scores during the fight. After each round, we'll post them on your screen. You can see it. The fighters and their trainers can see it as well. We do have a 10-point must system.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are once again scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in Glory's welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the black corner. The stand-up fighter won his Glory debut in Copenhagen. His professional record, 24 wins with 6 losses, 3 of those wins coming by way of knockout. At 6 feet, 1 inch tall, 1.85 meters, he weighed in at fight time at an even 168 pounds, 76.3 kilos. Fighting tonight out of the United Kingdom, here is Jamie Bates. His opponent fighting out of the white corner, a 2-time Dutch, 3-time world amateur champion. As a professional, 25 wins with 6 losses, 13 career knockouts. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall, 1.93 meters, and he weighed in at 168.5 pounds, 76.6 kilos. Fighting tonight out of Aruba, by way of the Netherlands. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mr. Cool, Ivan Dannenberg. And the third man inside the Glory ropes, your referee is John Axwood.
Okay, both fighters, you know the rules. Break is break, stop is stop. Any questions? No questions.
In Ivan Dannenberg's last fight against Wellington Uega, he knocked him down 4 times, basically blitzed right through him. He'd love to do the same thing against Jamie Bates tonight, who'll be wearing the black gloves. Glory's Super Fight Series has begun from the sold-out Ahoy Arena in Rotterdam.
Both guys are used to being the taller fighters, so they're used to wanting to keep their opponents at range. But I can see Dannenberg really want to close in, try to utilize some of his knees as well.
Dannenberg likes to start fast. Promising to show off his entire arsenal tonight. And he's got some fantastic moves, as we saw in his last bout. Flying knees, spinning back fists, you name it.
Yeah, the way he mixes his knees with his boxing is very impressive.
There's Jamie Bates' father, one of his trainers. A former fighter in his own right.
Yeah, lifelong martial artist. Jamie Bates been training since he was 4 years old, studying karate.
I don't think his dad gave him much of a choice. He said, son, you're going to be a fighter. Just pick which combat sport you want. Bates doing a good job keeping Dannenberg off him with that push kick.
Great. Step back.
I'm assuming for Bates, the key for him is to get inside that long reach.
Yeah, it's not much of a reach advantage. Jamie Bates is really tall, but I can see Bates wanting to use his kicks and then enter with his punches.
Got caught with a left-handed Bates there.
Bates using the front kick and the side kick for distance control.
Jamie Bates did beat Richard Abraham in his first Glory bout, but said he wasn't unhappy with his performance. Believes he can show a lot more and vows to do so here tonight.
And he's landing some good left hooks. There's that boxing and knee combination work from Dannenberg.
Bates fighting out of County Durham, England. Has a big fan base there. You know they're watching right now. Spinning back kick from Bates. Also tonight on the UFC pay-per-view, another British fighter, Bailey Sugden, who's a real nasty cat. If you haven't seen him fight, you're in for a treat.
Oh yeah, the bad boy, super tough. I'm liking the jab Dannenberg's using. And a nice right knee to the body that hurt Bates.
You could hear a crack. Hopefully it wasn't one of his ribs, but Bates is hurting. Getting up very slowly.
I think he got away from a knockdown there, but he went right for a left hook to the body himself.
And there's the shot. He was hurt, and Dannenberg with a left to the liver puts Bates down.
Yeah, he weakened it with a knee earlier on and just went with that left hook.
7, 8. Hands up.
Bates will survive the round. But how much damage has been done by Mr. Cool?
Yeah, those body knees and punches can take a lot of energy out of you. You hold your breath, it changes up your defense. So this is where Dannenberg's going to really capitalize on changing his levels. Let's take a look at the knockdown, the first one here, and I think this was the knee that did the damage. Set up with a left hook, right knee. Beautifully timed. Set up well with that left hook. Here's the second. There is staying very strategic, and just as Jamie Bates lifted his arm, he put that left hook to the liver right in perfect place to the liver.
Joe, we've seen in the past, though, a liver shot, while very painful, the pain is only momentary. Do you think Jamie Bates has enough time between rounds to bounce back?
Well, he's going to bounce back, but I'm sure Dannenberg's going to keep kicking, punching at it, which is it's weakened now, so it's going to take a lot less damage to do an effective strike.
So Dannenberg will try and make Bates' liver quiver again here in round 2. What's your strategy now if you're Jamie Bates, considering what you went through?
Well, he's got to keep his front kick and his side kicks, and he needs to stay away from the ropes, because that's where Dannenberg's going to come in and use those punches and knees.
And there was another knee. Jamie Bates says it's low. John Axwood, a referee, helping Jamie Bates out there. I'm sure he appreciated that. And you can tell Dannenberg's all about the body now.
Yeah, he's waiting. He's going to throw his left kick and try to set up that body punch or knee.
And now Bates has to lower his hands to protect his body, and that leaves the head open.
Yep, that's the beauty of going to the body. This is where Dannenberg could change levels. Or just viciously attack the liver over and over again.
Right hand connects. You can see Bates just kind of folding forward to cover up his body. He's got to do something offensively, though, Joe.
Yeah, he's trying to counter with his punches, but when he counters with his punches, he opens his elbows, which opens the knees. So he's got to create space. He's got to try to use his movement on the outside. Try to use his circular movement, angles.
Step back.
Ivan Dannenberg got his nickname Mr. Cool from Errol Zimmerman, who said, listen, this guy's face never changes. He always seems so relaxed no matter what he's going through in sparring or in the gym. And the nickname Mr. Cool stuck. Bates with a spinning back kick. There's another knee that softened up the liver again. A couple punches from Bates. Oh, and there's another shot. Another shot, a left hook to the liver, and Bates is down again, and he may not get up.
Yeah, it's hurt. You know Dannenberg's going right after it. Can Bates survive the last 45 seconds?
Bates is damaged goods right now. 35 seconds to go for Bates, who will try and go out on his shield.
Really trying to hide and protect that liver by putting his left side in front.
There's nowhere to go.
Step back.
You can just see on the face of Bates the pain he's in right now. There's another touch to the liver, and John Axwood has a decision to make. Does he stop it?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Bates is battling on, but for how much longer?
Will he survive?
One more knockdown and this thing is over.
All Dannenberg has to do is touch that liver once.
So Bates survives round 2, but barely.
Yeah, that's not going to take much to finish that liver now. Just all that repetitive damage is added up. Very good setups from Dannenberg to hit that liver. Here he caught the leg through the right hand, followed by the left hook to the body. Good level changes. Jamie Bates trying to utilize his kicks, but Dannenberg really mixing up levels. I love that right hook to the head, left hook to the body setup. And it's not a powerful shot, but it's hurting really bad, and it's not going to take too much to finish that. Bates trying to front kick to the head, and that's all it took, is a little touch.
Dannenberg can see the finish line. All he's got to do is hit that body with one good shot. So Bates needs something dramatic, almost a miracle at this point as we enter the third and final round. You can see the judges' scorecards, 10-7. We've had 3 knockdowns in this fight, all of them coming from Dannenberg.
One more, it's over.
4 knockdowns in a fight, and the referee is obligated to stop it.
Bates was able to absorb that knee without going down.
It has been a dominating performance by Ivan Dannenberg from the opening bell. He'd love to get his 14th KO. Spinning back fist from Jamie Bates.
That might be the shot he needs, Todd.
And there's another shot, partially blocked by Jamie Bates. You can see the redness on his back, on his arms. The left side, or the right side rather, Bates' body is in bad shape. Oh, but Bates coming back, landed a right hand. Every time Dannenberg catches a foot or catches a kick, the left side of the body is open.
Yeah, that's the strategy. He's trying to catch Jamie Bates' front kick, move the leg out of the side, and peck that liver.
But credit to Bates for fighting on, getting off the canvas 3 times so far.
Yeah, he has to learn to hide the liver, and he's doing a good job by pivoting out to his left. There you go, some movement from Bates.
Bates needs a knockout.
Step back.
And again, Bates leaning over to his right side, tucking his elbow down to protect the liver.
Bates just trying to hold on to everything he can. You can see his face just holding tight.
Just surviving this fight will be a victory for Bates, considering what he's been through.
Yep, you got to learn. That's one of the challenges of being a fighter. If something's hurt, you have to use other weapons. You have to learn to survive.
20 seconds to go. Dannenberg wants the KO, but Bates refusing to give it to him. Oh, and nearly went down with less than 10 to go.
He tried throwing a big haymaker to end the fight.
Bates fighting to the final bell. He survives, but Dannenberg wins in style.
Yeah, just like we predicted. Good boxing, good knees, and it just showed how tough Jamie Bates is to hang in there.
Mutual respect shown. Bates giving Dannenberg the love for his skills. Dannenberg giving Bates the love for his heart. We'll make it official when we return. You're watching the Glory Super Fight Series.
Glory Kickboxing is the most action-packed fight sport on the planet. Legal strikes are punches, kicks, and knees. Regular bouts are 3 rounds. Championship bouts are 5, and each round is 3 minutes of action. Outfight your opponent for 10-9. Knock them down for 10-8. In a normal bout or tournament final, 3 knockdowns in 1 round or 4 in the entire bout, and the fight is over by TKO. In a tournament semi, 2 knockdowns in 1 round or 3 in the entire bout, and it's all over. Or you can just knock your opponent out. Sweeps, elbows, and grappling are not allowed. Clinching is okay if you follow up with a knee. Glory rules are designed to bring non-stop, fast-paced stand-up action. To find out more, go to glorykickboxing.com.
We're back in Rotterdam, set to jump into highlights from our opening bout. And Joe, we're not going to see a lot of good stuff from Jamie Bates.
No, it's going to be all from the knees and the left hooks from Dannenberg, set up really nicely. We saw some good left hooks, but it all started with his knees. He was landing some good knees, but Jamie Bates, as the fight got on, just had to find different strategies. But the setup of Dannenberg's shots to the liver were just very impressive. Round 3 was just survival for Jamie Bates, and he did just that. He took some hard knees to the body, but was able to survive and take it to a decision.
Here are the final strike count statistics, and no surprise that it tilts towards Dannenberg. 87 landed compared to 62 for Bates.
Looking at strikes by zone, it was Dannenberg using the head punches to set up his body punches, where Jamie Bates used his kicks to try to keep Dannenberg away.
Now we go into the ring, and Tim Hughes for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of kickboxing, we go to the judges' scorecard. Let's look at the totals from our 5 ringside judges. All 5 see it and scored the same, 30-24, a unanimous decision for your winner, Ivan Dannenberg.
Ivan Dannenberg, a unanimous decision victory. And Joe, the future is bright for Dannenberg, who's only 25 years old.
Yeah, he does have 1 loss in Glory, which wasn't his best performance, which could have gone his way, but it's up and up for Dannenberg, and let's see him keep climbing the rankings, and I just love to see how that height can play at the top of the division.
Well, coming up later, ladies and gentlemen, he's been out for over a year, but returns tonight in his hometown. Mr. Payne, Ishmael Lunt, promises to be better than ever, and he needs to be, as he faces perhaps the fastest rising young star in the heavyweight division, D'Angelo Marshall. But coming up next, 2 other heavyweights collide as former title challenger Anderson Braddock Silva faces a man who's always ready to fight, Brian Dowis, who took this fight on just 3 days' notice.
Don't blink. The next generation of combat sports is here. February 16th, start the new year with a bang as the world's premier kickboxing organization celebrates its historic 50th event with Glory 50 Chicago. Featuring a massive welterweight world title fight as number 2 ranked Harut Grigorian gets his shot against the Predator Murtel Grunhard. Glory 50 Chicago at the UIC Pavilion, February 16th. Check time and date in your area. Don't miss it. Live tonight on UFC.tv.
It's over!
It's Jamal Big Ben Zadie
I beat him once, it's nothing.
taking on Rico, the king of kickboxing Verhoeven for the heavyweight title.
Yeah, it's redemption.
Glory Redemption. Live tonight only on UFC.tv. Time now, ladies and gentlemen, for the heavyweights. This man competes in both heavyweight and light heavyweight and comes to Rotterdam winner of 4 of his last 5 meetings. Please welcome Brian Dowis.
Brian Dowis' mantra is, I'm always ready to go, and he's never needed that mantra more than he does tonight. He learned about this fight on Wednesday.
Yeah, 3 days, no problem for Dowis, because he's a good power puncher, so he always knows he's in the fight because he has that knockout power with any shot that he can throw. He likes to come forward and just always look for the finish. He has a lot of experience as a heavyweight. His last fight was against Saulo Cavallari as a light heavyweight, but tonight goes back up to heavyweight on this short notice.
This man was a World Grand Prix runner-up in 2012, and he'll make his 60th professional career start tonight. Here is Anderson Silva.
Anderson Silva, ranked 8th in the world in the heavyweight division, said he had a 2-month camp for this fight, did some things differently, and claims to feel better than ever.
Yeah, in the past he was doing a little bit of MMA training with his kickboxing, but now he spent all 8 weeks for this camp kickboxing twice a day, has a full professional kickboxing camp for this, and he's a fighter who's been in Glory for so long. He's been part since Glory 2, and he has 16 Glory fights, fighting all of the best in the division.
If you're wondering where his nickname Braddock came from, it's because he loves Chuck Norris, and the character played in Missing in Action was Braddock. Here's our tail of the tape in the heavyweight division, and it's Anderson Silva, a pound and a half heavier, or excuse me, a 16.8 pounds heavier. He's an inch and a half taller.
Looking at professional experience, it's Brian Dowis that has the edge. Both guys with good knockout power, and they have fought in the past in a tournament where Silva won a double extra round, but that was 6 or 7 years ago.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in Glory's heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the black corner, a WFCA European champion whose record stands at 48 wins, 22 losses, 2 bouts scored even, and 27 career knockouts. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, 1.88 meters, and weighed in at 232.5 pounds, 105.6 kilos. Fighting out of the Netherlands, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Brian the Hitman Dowens. His opponent standing on my left and fighting out of the white corner. This kickboxing veteran is also a Brazilian national champion. His record, 41 wins, 17 losses, 1 draw, and 26 knockouts. At 6 feet 3.5 inches, 1.92 meters. He weighed in at fight time at 249.5 pounds, 113.2 kilos. He fights tonight out of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Anderson Braddock Silva. The referee in charge of this bout is John Axwood.
John Axwood, the third man in the ring tonight. Silva versus Brian Dowens.
Okay, guys, you know the rules? Any questions? Okay, break is break, stop is stop.
Two veterans colliding. Anderson Braddock Silva in the white gloves, Brian Dowens in the black. And Joe, when you're called into action on just 3 days' notice, how does that affect your mentality?
Well, it's good for some fighters because they don't have that pressure in camp. They haven't had to cut the weight. So Dowens has the advantage of being fresh and has nothing to lose.
Dowens was in training for a fight January 3rd, but that's about a month away. Says he's in great shape, has no problem going 3 rounds with the Brazilian.
Silva said this has potential to be fight of the night, if not fight of the year. Their fight 6-7 years ago went a double extra round.
Silva trying to recapture his glory, a former title challenger, 31 years old.
Step back.
Has nearly 60 professional fights. And Joe, what is it about Silva that's given him this type of longevity at the top of the sport?
Well, he's very technical and he stays relaxed and he's very strategic with his striking. He doesn't really waste his strikes. He's very strategic in where he puts things. So he's got a very good left hook. You're going to see him really go left kicks to the body. He's a liver hunter. So you're going to see him try to get it any way he can.
Does he have a license to hunt livers?
Well, he better get one in Rotterdam if he's going to hunt this one.
He's fought all the big names. Fought Rico Verhoeven, Jamal bin Sadiq, Ishmael Lant, you name it. His last bout against D'Angelo Marshall was a thriller, a tough decision loss for Silva.
Step back.
Dallas said that his low kicks would be very important. Haven't seen a ton yet. Speaking of fighting big names, Dallas has fought Rico Verhoeven not once, but twice. Getting a draw back in 2005, losing to Rico in the rematch a year later.
Silva trying to use his knees with his boxing.
Still to come tonight, exclusively on pay-per-view right here. If you're watching on UFC Fight Pass, it'll be Jamal bin Sadiq and Rico Verhoeven for the heavyweight championship of the world. Rico was knocked out by Jamal 6.5 years ago. He looks for redemption later here from Ahoy Arena in Rotterdam.
You see Silva already going to that liver. He's using his jab and his left kick. So he gets the guard up with the jab and then slips the left kick under the elbow.
And again, we do have open scoring tonight, so you will see who's winning this fight when we start round 2. Two champions side by side. Featherweight champion Ruben van Roosmalen and the welterweight king, Myrtle Grunhard, who usually has a big smile for the camera. He must not know it's on. Where is it, Myrtle? You know, Myrtle's going to have his eyes on Nikki Holskin later tonight, the return of the natural.
Yeah, they said they didn't want to fight again, but hey, if Nikki does well and keeps winning, we'll probably see a fourth fight.
3 fights between the two. Myrtle unable to topple Nikki Holskin, but he did beat Cedric Doumbé, and that's why he is the champ. And we learned this week that Myrtle Grunhard will headline Glory 50. What an honor for him in Chicago, February 16th. Our Glory girls tonight, Alyssa, Stephanie, Bella, and Gemma. Follow them on social media. I know you will. They need to put pictures of us like that.
I think so.
Let's go do some photo shoots. Round 2, scheduled 4-3. Anderson Silva taking on Brian Dowis. Here come our scores from round number 1. All 5 give it to the Brazilian.
Yeah, and he's doing good work hitting that liver. You're going to see left kicks and left hooks. Dowis needs to keep coming in there, trying to focus on his counter punching. And his corner's asking for the low kick.
Step back.
Silva does have plenty of power, a 63% knockout ratio. 26 of his 41 wins have come by knockout. And according to Nick Kalakis of MMAOddsBreaker.com, Anderson Silva a 3-1 favorite in this fight. Nice uppercut there from Silva, and dodges the receipt too.
Yeah, very technical, and he's very well placed with his punches. And when he's throwing those right hooks, it's not really much to do damage. It's more to set up his other strikes. He threw a good uppercut off of the right hand. He goes to the left hook to the body with it.
Ooh, partially blocked, but still snuck through there.
That's what Dowis needs to do. He needs to put those punches together and throw some combinations.
Nice 1-2, the right hand right on the jaw of Dowis.
Yeah, watch how he mixes that up now.
Total strikes, you can see Silva has the edge, 41-29.
Break.
Nice counter left kick again from Silva.
Step back.
Silva used to live and train in Amsterdam, but decided he was better off moving back to Brazil, so that's where he lives now, and that's where he trains.
Break.
And there's a throwdown from Dowis.
There's a cut over the left eye of Dowis, probably from those solid right hooks from Broderick.
Silva very excited about Glory, planning on coming to Brazil in April. Looks like it's going to be Sao Paulo. You know Anderson Silva wants to be on that card. Glory has never been to South America.
Silva just called him on.
And that's usually an invitation that Dowis will accept.
Nice hook kick from Silva.
So here we go, round 3. Dallas lost round 1. We saw that by open scoring, and you would assume that Silva bettered him in the second round as well. We'll see that momentarily. Here come your judges' scores, all 5 giving it to the Brazilian.
Yeah, and Broddick still's calling him on. Maybe he wants him to open up. See if he can slip in his uppercuts and his liver attacks.
Break, step back.
What Dallas is doing a good job of, he's not staying a standing target for Broddick to pick him apart. So that's why he clinches, pushes forward. You don't want Silva to start teeing off and you're picking the strikes.
Anderson Silva still believes he can make a climb up the heavyweight rankings, Joe. Do you believe it?
I think so, and if he's dedicating himself now, like he said, 8-week training camps, twice a day, he's never really had this type of training, so let's see where it takes him.
Still 31. Granted, he is a veteran. He's had almost 60 professional fights. A lot of wear and tear on the body. Ooh. But for the most part, if he fights anyone not ranked in the top 5, he almost always completely outclasses them, as we're seeing right now.
Yeah, he does really well. He's just having a hard time winning in the top of the division. But let's see what this new change in camp does. Maybe he needed the training to do it.
And the last thing you want to be at this point in your career is a gatekeeper for the division where you're just fighting young and up-and-coming guys to see if they're worthy of a top 5 ranking. Nice high kick there from Dallas, but it was blocked by Silva, who saw it coming.
A right hand from Silva.
Looks like Dallas is starting to wither Joe. You wonder if the conditioning is where it needs to be, and he just absorbed a huge right hand from Silva. Earlier tonight, we saw an outstanding high kick knockout by Stoyan Koplovinsky on Glory 49. It's going to be tough to top that for knockout of the night.
Yeah, that was just through a nice, good left high kick of his own.
Step back, step back, step back.
20 seconds to go here in the third and final round. Our first of 2 heavyweight bouts. There's a sneaky left hand from Dallas.
Yeah, it was a nice close-range left hook.
And then a high kick, and that will do it. Anderson Silva is back and presumably comes out on top yet again, but we'll make it official when we return to the Netherlands. Later tonight, it's the return of the natural, Nikki Holskin, who's backstage with Whitney Miller.
Nikki, it seems like this entire week you have a little bit of a different demeanor about you. What has changed since the last time we saw you?
Yeah, I just train very hard and get rid of my mistakes and focus very good on my food and my rest and train very hard.
You're facing an up-and-comer who's been calling for your head for a while now. Do you think he has what it takes to beat you?
No, I don't think so.
All right, good luck tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Nikki Holskin with a high-energy interview there. He's dialed in, isn't he?
Yeah, he stays super focused all the time. He's always serious on game day.
Let's jump right into our highlights from our heavyweight contest between Silva and Dallas.
And it was a lot of good boxing work from Silva, mixing levels, trying to go for that liver, mixing in uppercuts. He also landed some good knees mixed with it, but Dallas kept coming forward, trying to land his power punches, trying to mix in his low kicks, but the improvements of the training of Braddock really showed his versatility in his kicking. But you can never count Dallas out with his power. He's swinging. If he had to go out on his shield, he won't mind. But Braddock just looked impressive. Continued with his good strike selection. And here you can see, but one of the biggest difference, he was mixing his knees with his boxing, which did some good damage to the body.
As far as strike count goes, pretty close actually. Dallas dialing in on the punches to the head. Silva going with kicks to the body.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout goes the distance, so we go to the judges' scorecard. Let's look at the totals from our 5 ringside judges. 3 judges score the bout 29-28. The remaining 2 judges see it 30-27. A unanimous decision, all for your winner, Anderson Silva!
Anderson Silva with a good performance here in Rotterdam. And you know what? Hey, he could have turned this fight down saying, I'm not fighting a guy that I was not prepared for, but he stepped in, had the fight he wanted, and got the result.
Yeah, Silva doesn't back down from any fight. You can just see who he's fought in his record, but it's just nice to see Silva focusing fully on kickboxing, and the results showed.
Coming up later, it's the return of Nicky Holzken. After back-to-back losses for the first time in his career, the natural looks to bounce back with a vengeance. But standing in his way is Aleem Nabiev, who called out Holzken and gets his wish tonight. But up next, back to the big heavyweights. It's Mr. Payne versus D'Angelo Marshall.
Don't blink. The next generation of combat sports is here. February 16th, start the new year with a bang as the world's premier kickboxing organization celebrates its historic 50th event with Glory 50 Chicago. Featuring a massive welterweight world title fight as number 2 ranked Harut Grigorian gets his shot against the Predator Murtel Grunhard. Glory 50 Chicago at the UIC Pavilion, February 16th. Check time and date in your area. Don't miss it. Live tonight on UFC.tv.
It's over!
It's Jamal Big Ben Zadie
I beat them once, it's nothing.
taking on Rico, the king of kickboxing Verhoeven for the heavyweight title.
Yeah, it's redemption.
Glory Redemption. Live tonight only on UFC.tv. Mr. Payne, Ismail Long. D'Angelo Marshall.
Down goes Anderson Silva. Powerful shot from Ismail Long. Marshall comes with that big right hand again, and down goes Abdallah, and this fight is over.
He took Guto Innocence to a sudden victory round in his debut in Los Angeles. Here is D'Angelo Marshall.
fighting out of Curaçao by way of the Netherlands. He is D'Angelo Marshall, and at 27 years old, the future is bright, but D'Angelo believes the future is now.
Yeah, he's won a contenders tournament to get this status that he's had. He did it by beating Anderson Braddock Silver, who we just saw, and he's just so talented. He's with Coliseum Gym now, getting the right training and the right camp needed in order to become a champion.
This man returns to the glory ring for the first time in nearly a year. Here is Ismail Lant.
Mr. Payne, ready to go. Hasn't fought in a year, Joe. He was so excited to step back into the squared circle.
Yeah, and one of the things he's done in that time off is he's changed gyms. He's went back to Mike's gym, where he feel like he got the best training needed for his career. And this is a veteran of the sport, having fought almost everyone he has lost. He has a fight with Badr Hari, which he lost. He's fought Hesdy Gerges, Adik Boui, Krokop, so very experienced fighter, just looking to make that return with a new camp.
And Lant and Marshall know each other extremely well. They trained with each other off and on for 8 years, Joe, and we saw them in the lobby of the hotel, hugging each other, high-fiving. They don't want to fight each other, but they know they have to.
Yeah, both contender winners, both want a chance at Rico, so there's a lot on the line. But even when they were training together, it was Lant who was the older, more experienced guy, so he guided Marshall a little bit, helping him out. So there's maybe a little bit of confidence in Lant that he was the older, more experienced one.
Lant respects D'Angelo Marshall's in-ring abilities, but says, listen, he can't match my power. If you think Marshall's strong, wait until he gets hit by me. He says that we'll be able to see it in Marshall's face the first time that Lant lands a big punch.
And that's what he says is the difference that he's found in this camp is that he's got his punching power back, and that's going to be the biggest difference, he says.
Here's our tail of the tape in the heavyweight division. Ismail Lant, 6'4.5". D'Angelo Marshall, 6'5". Lant, 27.5 pounds heavier.
When taking a look at professional experience, it's Lant with the experience, not only in the number of fights, but the quality of fights fighting higher-ranked opponents.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in Glory's heavyweight division. Fighting out of the black corner, he is a contender tournament champion. His professional record, 16 wins with 2 losses. 9 of those fights have ended inside the distance. He stands 6 feet 5 inches tall, 1.95 meters, and he weighed in at fight time at an even 239 pounds, 108.4 kilos. Fighting tonight out of Curaçao, here is D'Angelo Marshall. His opponent, fighting out of the white corner, became a contender tournament champion himself at Glory 29 Copenhagen. His professional record, 39 wins, 7 losses, 1 bout scored even, and 18 knockouts. He stands 6 feet 4.5 inches, 1.94 meters, and weighed in at 266.5 pounds, 120.9 kilos. Fighting out of Suriname, ladies and gentlemen, here is Ismail, Mr. Payne Lant. The third man inside the glory ropes, your referee is Paul Nichols.
Ismail Lant actually the underdog in this bout according to MMA odds breakers at plus 140.
Gentlemen, you understand the rules that you're fighting to. Protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. Do you have any questions? Touch gloves if you like.
Joe, you've had training partners that you've worked with years and years. What is it like to fight someone like that?
Well, I haven't done it, but it's got to be tough. It's got to be tough, and I'm sure they're going to start off with a little bit of respect for each other. And then I'm sure as the fight goes on, they're going to start realizing the other guy wants to hurt him bad.
I don't think Marshall is going to slow down at all. He comes out guns blazing. Let's see what happens here. Ismail Lant wearing the white gloves, D'Angelo Marshall in the black. And Marshall is all about the hands. And he's heavy-handed for sure. Just got a jab through the guard of Lant.
Marshall's going to be the busier fighter. He's going to have to move and try to score points as Lant's going to come in, but Lant's going to look to just land that one big power shot.
Lant claims that he never went all out against Marshall in their sparring session and says tonight he's really going to learn how good I am.
What Lant does really well is he has that flying switch knee that he always mixes in. Very impressive for a big guy.
And there's a knee from Marshall. The last time we saw Lant in the ring, it was against Jamal bin Sadiq back in Germany at Glory Collision. A fantastic fight that Lant ended up losing. He tore his bicep in that fight, and that's why he's been gone for so long. Lant looks a little bit off balance, Joe.
Yeah, it looked like he maybe hurt his leg or something. But he's content staying in the corner because he has vicious counterpunching.
You can hear the thudding blows from Lant. So heavy-handed.
Marshall's doing well at staying long, scoring with his jab, moving, keeping distance. You know Lant wants to come in.
Nice high kick from Marshall, and it caught Lant. Marshall having a good opening stanza here.
Yeah, very impressive. Good work at mixing his kicks, his punches.
We've seen Marshall, though, get tired, get fatigued late in fights. Let's see if he can conserve some energy here. Marshall with a knockout ratio of 57%. That right hand stunned Lant again.
Yeah, it looked like Lant was going down.
And you can see Lant a little bit off balance. Marshall might be able to put him away here. This has not been the return that Lant was hoping for, at least thus far.
No, but he's still slugging. He's trying to hit some power, and that's the power he has. It takes one shot to change this fight.
And that backed Marshall up a little bit. So Lant now over swings on that one. Got to be careful.
Yeah, especially with Marshall using his jab.
An entertaining round one for sure. Dominated mostly by Marshall until the last 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's definitely using his jab well, scoring points, catching rhythm with his combinations, and just mixing levels. You saw him mix some knees and some hooks. But bang, there's that high kick, and it went through the glove, and a good high kick doesn't necessarily have to hit it. If it goes through the guard like that, it still does a lot of good damage. And he followed that high kick up with some punches. There, he just slips his head to the left and just clipped Lant. Nice right hand, nice head movement.
Lant said we'd see the expression on Marshall's face when he gets caught, but we see the expression on Lant's face.
Yeah, definitely some good timing from D'Angelo Marshall trying to set it up with his jab.
Marshall's been training 2 times a day at Coliseum Gym under the advice of Danny DeVries. In fact, Rico Verhoeven was one of his sparring partners. Talk about getting you prepared for a fight. And who knows, Marshall could be fighting Rico next. Both of these men have won heavyweight contender tournaments. They square off tonight. There's our open scoring. The judges giving it to Marshall in round 1. Hard to argue.
Yep, I like that left hand from Marshall. He sets it up with his jab really well. He knows Lant's coming in. Nice left hook uppercut from Marshall.
Some knees, too, from Marshall. Really nasty stuff. And Lant is overcommitting on these right hands.
Yeah, he's really relying on the single power shot.
His knuckles are starting on the floor when he throws these punches. And finally he lands one, and that's the damage he can do.
Yeah, and now he's hitting the body, trying to soften up the body. And then go to the head.
But Joe, what do you make of the follow-through? He's putting so much power behind these punches. When he misses, he's completely off balance.
Yeah, but that's where D'Angelo Marshall needs to capitalize on. Try to slip that big punch, which he's doing well, but then counter and follow.
And there's a right hand that snuck in, a short little right hand. A better second round, though, for Mr. Payne. There's another one across the temple.
Yeah, good counterpunch, playing possum.
Oh, and look at Lott just muscling his way through there.
Break! Fight!
Looks like Marshall's trying to set up that uppercut. He's got to be careful. He drops his hands when he throws that uppercut.
You know, maybe Lott's playing a little bit of possum where he's acting like he's a little more hurt than he is to try and get Marshall to commit.
Sometimes, and it's conserving his energy, so he'll wait, catch his energy behind his shield, and then throw his big counter punches.
Oh, the right hand! It landed flush right on the chin of Marshall, but Lott went down. How that happened, I don't know.
It didn't even faze Marshall. He just stood there. No idea how he took that.
Talk about a granite chin. But Lott is finally getting his shots in, and they are heavy. Nice jab from Marshall.
Yeah, he needs to keep that jab going if he has that energy. Kind of pop his jab and move.
Close round, and that's a right hand. Is that a knockdown? It is!
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gloves up! Gloves up!
Fight! Blood coming out of the nose now of Marshall, who takes a deep breath. And Mr. Payne now finally gets his knockdown, and he's going for the kill here.
Yeah, he's just narrowly missing those big punches. Marshall needs to be careful when he kicks because that's the timing for Lott. That's how he got that knockdown.
So an amazing round 2 for Ismail Lott, who looked like he was in a little bit of trouble after round 1.
Yeah, he looked like he was fatiguing, like he was gassing out, but maybe, like you said, he's playing possum. He's conserving his energy underneath his shield and then just mixing in those big punches that just miss all the time. That kind of looked like some of them going to the back of the head. Marshall landing good uppercuts, but that counter right hook of Lott's doing a lot of good damage and punishment.
And here's the knockdown. That was the punch that actually knocked Lott down. Here comes the knockdown.
Yeah, it looked like it happened off the kick. Beautifully timed right hand off of the low kick of Marshall.
Well, let's see how much juice Lott has left. He's been throwing haymakers for 6 minutes.
Time!
A bit of a delay here. This is the third and final round. It's a must-win round for Angelo Marshall. And there's a 10-8 score. All 5 judges giving it to Lott. So hypothetically, if Marshall wins this round 10-9, we will go to an extra round.
Yep. Let's see the power and the energy that Lott still has. And even Marshall, he's slowing down. He doesn't have the pop in his jab anymore to keep Lott away.
A right hand connected for Lott.
Break! Break!
So just when you thought Lott was starting to fade away, he comes back with a vengeance, gets a knockdown, and has already landed a good power punch here in round 3. Good jab from Marshall.
Good counter from Lott with the right hand.
Break!
Going 1 for 1.
Fight!
Come on. Stop
Clubbing right hand from Lott. So what's Marshall need to do here? He has to win this round.
Well, the idea would be to use his jab, keep his movement, stay busy, but I don't think he has the energy to keep that style. So he's just going to have to try to be first and stay defensive because he knows Lott's coming with those looping counter punches.
But Lott is certainly there to be hit. Long-time sparring partners know everything about each other. It's been a very close fight, and that knee may have done some damage. Lott is shrinking a little bit in the corner. hand sneaks through from Marshall.
Yeah, just he fell right into that right hand.
Close round 3, high kick grazes the temple, and now it's Marshall who has Lont bent over. Just misses on that uppercut, went to the body, big uppercut again.
Yeah, he's landed like 2 uppercuts in this exchange.
Lont goes down, and it is a knockdown. That changes the whole complexion of this fight.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gloves up. Gloves up.
10 seconds left.
That uppercut knockdown came with good timing.
Marshall going for the finish. A knee, a right hand, an uppercut. Can he do it? No, but a fantastic effort by both these fighters. Marshall gets the knockdown in round 3 and presumably wins the fight.
Yeah, he really needed that, and it just came at the right timing in that end of that 3rd round. There was that high kick that skimmed the temple and the head of Lont, came back with an explosive left hand, and just started putting the finish on, trying to land some good uppercuts. There was a left hand. Lont blocked quite a few of those, but the ones that landed were doing some good damage. There's that right hand that finally put Lont to the canvas.
Maybe D'Angelo Marshall was inspired by Francis Ngannou of the UFC, that uppercut he and Alistair Overeem with. Watch this uppercut from Marshall right there. Nope, there it is. I knew it was coming.
Just popped, and then all of a sudden he switched it over to a right hand. Lont was expecting the uppercut. That's when he threw the right hook.
When we return, we'll make it official. Did Marshall do enough?
Blink. The next generation of combat sports is here. February 16th, start the new year with a bang as the world's premier kickboxing organization celebrates its historic 50th event with Glory 50 Chicago. Featuring a massive welterweight world title fight as number 2 ranked Harut Grigorian gets his shot against the Predator Murtel Grunhard. Glory 50 Chicago at the UIC Pavilion, February 16th. Check time and date in your area. Don't miss it. Live tonight on UFC.tv.
It's over!
It's Jamal Big Ben Zadie
I beat him once, it's nothing.
taking on Rico, the king of kickboxing Verhoeven for the heavyweight title.
Yeah, it's redemption.
Glory Redemption. Live tonight only on UFC.tv.
We're back here in the Ahoy Arena in Rotterdam, and Joe, it was everything we wanted.
Yeah, it was a lot of big slugging and a lot of good power shots. Marshall started off really well in the first round scoring, but Lont just kept defending and countering with big punches. And there in the second round, Lont started finding the right hand, started capitalizing on his counter punching. This is when Marshall threw the low kick, countered with a right hand from Lont, but the third round, Marshall just started putting it on and got that late third round knockdown, which probably sealed the deal for this fight. But Lont just showed his power, and they said the biggest difference in Lont's career in this last year was his power.
Here are the final strike count statistics, and they all go towards D'Angelo Marshall for the most part. 86 landed strikes. That's 36 more than Lont.
Strikes landed by zone. It's D'Angelo Marshall really attacking the head of Lont. Did a good job at especially sticking that jab.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of kickboxing, we go to the judges' scorecard. Let's look at the totals from our 5 ringside judges. One judge scores the bout 29-27. The other 4 all see it and score it the same, 28-27. A unanimous decision, all for your winner, D'Angelo Marshall.
So now the question is, what's next for Marshall?
Well, do you give him the chance with Rico? I still think he's really young and could improve, but if he's the next contender, he's got to get training hard right away.
And keep in mind, it could be Sadiq. If Sadiq beats Rico later tonight on UFC.tv pay-per-view. D'Angelo Marshall improves to 17-2. Didn't quite get his 10th knockout, but came really close. So it's onward and upward for Marshall. As for Mr. Payne, he's back. Showed he's still got plenty of power. We'll see what he does next in the heavyweight division as well. Coming up later, the middleweight championship is on the line as the newly crowned Brazilian Alex Pereira defends his title for the first time against the 6'6", hard-hitting, trash-talking Yusri Belgari. But up next, it's the return of Nikki Holskin. We're getting set for our middleweight world championship fight. For more on that, we send it backstage to Whitney Miller.
Coming up later, we have a championship belt on the line as Alex Pereira tries to defend his belt against Yusri Belgari. Now, when I spoke with Belgari about this matchup, he said there is a bit of pressure on him because this is his first title fight and he's in his hometown country, so he really wants to put on an epic performance. The good thing for him is that he's fought Alex Pereira before back in Copenhagen and he's beat Alex Pereira. But when I asked Alex about that, he said, I was injured. I could barely use my left leg in that fight, and this time it's going to be completely different. I can tell you that both of these fighters are looking for the knockout, and both of these fighters want that big, shiny belt.
So, if you want real fight, real knockouts, I can tell you one thing. I challenge all fighters who think they have something to tell between these ropes to fight against me. I don't care who, I don't care when, I'm ready for everybody. So, if they think they can fight, stand-up fights, real knockouts, I guarantee you, everybody who wanna fight against me, get knocked out.
Badr is back, ladies and gentlemen, and he's coming right here to Rotterdam at the Ahoy Arena. That is March 3rd, and Joe Badr, one of the most exciting kickboxers in the world today.
Yeah, that's a huge signing to have him back. Man, I'm pumped. Last time we saw him was at Collision where he fought Rico. He had the injury, so we really didn't see what type of Badr is back, so I'm excited to see him in March 3rd.
And who will Badr be facing? You know he's going to have his eyes on tonight's World Championship fight between Rico Verhoeven and Jamal bin Sadiq. But the big news, a multi-fight contract. Badr is back right here in Rotterdam on March 3rd. And you know who else is back?
Who's that?
Nikki Holskin.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nikki the Natural Holskin.
I want Nicky Holzken.
He's coming off an impressive win over Jimmy Mignot in Lyon in his debut. Here is Alim Nabiev.
Alim the Professor Nabiev, a tricky Muay Thai stylist fighting out of Azerbaijan. He's forged a reputation for a crowd-pleasing but intelligent fighting style. Does he have what it takes to beat someone the caliber of Nicky Holzken?
Well, he definitely does, and what makes him so tricky is the fact that he can change stances. So you're going to see him as an orthodox fighter, as a southpaw, and he's constantly switching up. And he does have some good fight IQ, but he is fighting one of the best welterweights of all time.
One of the great kickboxing talents of all time, making his 14th glory start, Nicky Holzken.
Coming off back-to-back losses for the first time in his glory career. He says, I have no excuses. I'm rededicated to the sport. I'm ready to rock and roll, and he vows to knock out Alim Nabiev tonight here in Rotterdam.
Yeah, he has the ability to do it. He's got good counter-punching, good boxing, good low kicks. So he's a complete fighter, and his losses were to Cedric Doumbé, and it's just a tricky style for Nicky. So I expect Nicky to really come forward and try to get a finish.
The former welterweight champion of the world is back and takes on Alim Nabiev, who is 2 inches taller and 10 years younger.
Taking a look at professional experience, it's all Nicky Holzken with 103 professional fights, been on the top of the world for so long, so Nabiev wants to dethrone Nicky Holzken.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in Glory's welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the black corner, he is a 3-time world champion, trained in Muay Thai. His professional record, 47 wins with 6 losses, 21 career knockouts. At 6 feet 2 inches tall, 1.88 meters, he weighed in at 168.5 pounds, 76.5 kilos. He fights tonight out of Azerbaijan. Here is Alim, the Professor Nabiev. His opponent standing at my left and fighting out of the white corner, a 3-time Dutch, 5-time world champion. His professional record impressive, 90 career victories, 13 losses, and 46 career knockouts. At 6 feet even, 1.83 meters, he weighed in at fight time at an even 169 pounds, 76.8 kilos. Fighting tonight out of the Netherlands, he is the former Glory welterweight champion of the world. He is Nicky, the Natural Holzken. Your referee for this bout, John Axwood.
Back-to-back split decision losses for Holzken. He doesn't want to send it to the judges. He claims he still has the knockout power, but he hasn't knocked anyone out, Joe, in 2 years.
Okay, guys, you know the rules. Break is break, stop is stop. Okay? Any questions? Questions?
Nabiev calls this a dream fight for him. But be careful what you wish for, says Nicky. Nikki Holskin wearing the white gloves. Aleem Nabiev, the professor, in the black. 3 rounds in the welterweight division.
This is the first time in a long time Nikki has fought 3 rounds, so maybe this will change his style. So maybe we'll see a little bit more of an aggressive style.
Holskin won 12 consecutive fights in Glory before slipping up twice to Doumbé. He wants to get back on track tonight. Feels a bit disrespected. Believes he should be higher ranked, but he can prove that tonight with an impressive performance here against a very tricky and tough Nabiev.
Nabiev just blocked a good low kick, which I'm sure Nikki's strategy would be to attack the legs. Nikki's really known for attacking the liver with his left hook.
Nabiev with a tackle. Holskin is uber popular here in the Netherlands, had his own reality show. Obviously his success in the kickboxing ring has gotten him a legion of fans. They love bringing their horns to the arena too.
You see Nikki switching stances too. Both guys very talented to be able to fight both ways.
Switch hitters.
Nabiev's I can tell his plan is to use angles. You don't want to stay right in front of Nikki. You want to attack on angles.
What a name this would be on Nabiev's resume at the age of 23. A win over the former welterweight champion of the world, Nikki Holskin.
So Nabiev's being first, and that's a good strategy. Be first, watch the counter punch, and attack on angles.
Holskin felt he had been overtraining for fights. Has taken the gas off, or the pedal off, taking his foot off the gas pedal in training, Joe. Is that a smart move?
Well, he's getting older, so he says he needs to take care of his body if he wants to continue to fight at this high level.
When somebody's down, no technique.
This crowd waiting for something to explode about. You know, if Holskin can land a shot to the body, a liver shot, and put down Nabiev, this place will go bonkers.
Nabiev's definitely taking a book out of Cedric Doumbé's playbook, where he's moving, attacking on angles. You don't want to be a standing target with Nikki. So this is where he's trying to move, hit on angles, circle.
Nice straight left that split the guard of Holskin, who goes with a low kick. Nabiev playing it up here. Nice body kick and a right hand by Holskin. And a good opening round for Nabiev, who may have won it, Joe.
Yeah, he's doing really well by being the busier fighter, keeping Nikki pinned off his guard, trying to take away his counter-punching. And that angle work he's doing well is doing really good, trying to get in Nikki's head with his feints and taunts. Good round for Nabiev.
According to our strike count, Nabiev has landed nearly twice as many strikes as Holskin, 23 to 13. And we do have open scoring. We've shown you all night what the scores are after each round. We'll see what our 5 judges have to say about that opening frame. Nabiev looked very comfortable here.
Yep, it's going to be Nabiev trying to use more volume striking, where Nikki's going to rely more on his power and his counter punching. But he's got to be careful. If the power and the counter punching's not landing, he's getting out-pointed.
Let's see how the judges scored it as we get set for round 2. One judge gives it to Holskin, the other 4 to Nabiev. There's a shot to the liver by Holskin.
Yep, that's one of his best shots. Once he finds it, you're in trouble. And he sets it up really well.
Holskin complained in his fights against Doumbé that Doumbé didn't come to fight, didn't stand in front of him, just wanted to run. Nabiev is bringing the fight to the natural.
Yeah, he's doing both styles. He's fighting on the outside, he's moving, switching stances mixed with forward pressure.
body by Nabiev. Surprised by what you're seeing?
Well, Nicky's usually a slower starter waiting to counterpunch, and we've seen it in his title fights. It's 5 rounds he's used to. So I want to see him put a little bit more volume together.
Nabiev probably saw what Doumbé did to Nicky.
Definitely.
Like you said, took a page out of his playbook.
See, he's never standing. He's moving. He's striking in weird angles. See, he just pinned Nicky's hand and angle. That's what he needs to do. Very nice. Pin Nicky's hand and move. Doumbé did that a lot in both of the Nicky fights.
What would you like to see Nicky doing here?
Well, be more active. He's got to counterpunch more. Stop waiting so long. Nabiev's just scoring points and moving. He's not putting all the power behind it. That was a hard low kick from Nicky. That definitely hurt Nabiev.
That could have been very nasty.
Yep, once you grab the kick, you get one step and one strike. Can't start plowing and throwing your opponent down. That's what he needs to do, Nabiev. Don't throw everything with power.
Nabiev has thrown 121 strikes compared to just 53 for Holzken. Has to get busier.
Yeah, when Holzken has Nabiev against the rope, that's when he needs to unload with his boxing and his low kicks.
Another knee from Nabiev.
Yeah, the activity of Nabiev slowing Nicky down.
Seems like Nabiev isn't really respecting Nicky's power. He just got caught with a left hook. The spinning attack doesn't work. Another good round for the Professor, Aleem Nabiev.
Yeah, a very excellent round. Sticking to what he was doing in the first round, and it's working well.
Is it panic time now for the corner of Nicky Holzken?
Well, Nicky's got to put pressure on. Once he has Nabiev against the ropes, he's got to unload. He's got to put something together more than just a single punch or a single kick.
Holzken could very well be down 2 rounds to none here with just a round to go. You can afford to start slow when you have 5 rounds. Not so much when you only got 3.
Nope, he needs to really put it on now. He's got to change his mindset to keep going forward.
And if you're in Nabiev's corner, do you just say, hey, more of the same?
Keep it up. Stay busy. Stay moving. Keep tacking on angles.
Nabiev said, listen, beating Nicky Holzken will get everyone's attention. I'm more clever, I'm more well-prepared, and I'll be more aggressive.
Yeah, he claimed to have better fight IQ, and he's showing it a really high-level IQ.
All 5 score it for Nabiev, so Nicky Holzken needs a knockdown here in round 3.
Nabiev using good distance control. He's hitting and moving because he knows the counter's coming. That's when Nicky throws his left hook to the head. I'll be surprised. He's going to go right to the body very soon. Here it's coming.
A straight right from Nicky, and his crowd starting to come alive. And a left hook connects for Holzken.
Yeah, he's landed a few counter left hooks. Nicky switching southpaw, attacking the back leg.
Nice check there for Holzken to block the low kick. Nabiev has thrown twice as many strikes as Nicky Holzken. Did you see that coming?
Well, that's the strategy to beat Nicky. So I feel that Nabiev's IQ really won him this fight, like he said. Good fight strategy, the ability to change styles and use that trickiness. He's boxing well, he's mixing in some knees, and
Nikki Holzken entered this fight as a 4.5-to-1 favorite.
That's that liver shot Nikki does, and that hurt Nabiev.
Nikki with a minute left to get a knockdown here, or he will lose his third fight in a row. Who would have thought that?
Nikki needs to go back to that liver shot. Nabiev's standing there. That's why Nikki's doing better. Nikki's able to now fight his fight because Nabiev's not moving.
And Nabiev says, bring it on. Let's see. This is the best round by far for Holzken. Good uppercut from Nabiev. Back to the body goes Holzken. 18 seconds left. Another knee from Nabiev, and a second one, and those are big knees.
Yep, two right down the middle.
Aleem Nabiev, ladies and gentlemen. He is a force to be reckoned with in Glory's welterweight division. He may have just beaten one of the all-time greats and did it in Holland.
Yeah, very well played. Good strategy. The way he was able to move, just did a very good job. And it was the activity of Nabiev that did the most damage.
Did Nabiev just pick up the biggest win by far of his career? We'll find out when we return on the Glory Super Fight Series. A good fight by two welterweights. Let's see what the welterweight champ of the world has to say about it. Whitney Miller with Myrtle Grunhart.
Myrtle, welcome to Glory 49. Now you have a very important fight coming up in Chicago. It's a landmark fight. Tell us, what were your emotions when you found out you were going to headline that fight?
Sorry, one more time.
What were your emotions when you found out you were going to headline the fight in Chicago?
Oh, great. I really can't wait to fight again because my last fight was in August. And it's now 5 months, you know, and I can't wait to fight again. So I'm really glad I can fight again in February.
You just watched Nikki Holzken fight. What did you think of that fight?
I think it was a bad fight from Nikki. The guy made him look like an amateur. I don't know what happened, but he fought a good fight, the other guy.
Thank you, Myrtle. We'll see you in Chicago.
Thank you. See you in Chicago.
Maybe we'll see Aleem Nabiev versus Myrtle Grunhart, and I'm sure Grunhart will learn that other guy's name before this. We're back here at the Ahoy Arena, and it was a performance of a lifetime for Aleem Nabiev.
Yep, and it was all in that tricky style that he likes to bring. Changing stances, orthodox, southpaw, trying to get in Nikki's head, but it was ultimately Nabiev being first. He was being the busier fighter, keeping Nikki pinned with his strikes. There he's mixing on angles, switching stances. Nikki was trying to land his low kick in the first few rounds. Wasn't very successful, but had a good third round. Nabiev finally was able to stand his ground. Nikki was really hunting for that body, but Nabiev survived and was able to keep punching his way to a victory.
As we get ready to watch these strike statistics, it really is incredible what Nabiev was able to do. Look how many strikes he threw, 230, almost double what Holzken threw, 118, and he landed 36 more strikes.
Looking at the strikes land by zone, it was Nabiev really focusing on his body punches, his head punches, where Nikki was really attacking the legs with the low kicks.
We go into the ring now, and Tim Hughes.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard and our 5 ringside judges. 2 of our judges score the bout 29-28. The remaining 3 see it 30-27. A unanimous decision. All for your winner, Aleem Nabiev.
He's only 23 years years old, Joe, and he just beat one of the greatest welterweights ever, and Nicky Holzken. What's next for this young man's career?
Well, I think he's going to be in the top of the division very soon, and I'm sure we'll see him with the names like Myrtle Grunhart's very soon.
As for Nicky Holzken, Joe, after winning 12 straight fights, he's now lost 3 in a row. What does he have to do to get back on track?
Well, he's got to keep training. He's got to keep focusing on getting better and finding his love for the sport. Once he finds his love for the sport, he'll find his way and keep training harder and harder. So hopefully we'll see Nicky Holzken back in his best shape.
Coming up, ladies and gentlemen, it's the middleweight championship of the world. Pereira versus Bulgari.
You were the first in the world to find out that March 3rd, right here in Ahoy, in Rotterdam, the return of Badr Hari. Badr Hari is back inside the Glory Ring, and we are proud to announce him signing an exclusive multi-fight contract with Glory Sports International. We hope you'll join us for a great night, March 3rd, right here inside Ahoy. Yusri, the baby-faced ninja, Bulgari.
There's that low kick I've been liking from Bulgari. There's a cut over the left eye of Wellness already, possibly from one of those knees.
Look at that cut. Oh, man. Well, they're going to stop it. It is over. Yusri Bulgari with a TKO win.
New Glory middleweight champion of the world, Alex Pereira.
Pereira is very confident in wanting to move forward, wanting to control the center of the ring.
Pereira, I come for you. I get that belt in December.
What does he think about that?
The middleweight championship of the world is on the line.
Almost half of his professional fights have ended in knockout. Tonight, he comes for the belt. Here is Yusri Bulgari.
Fighting out of Tunisia via Amsterdam. He's beaten Alex Pereira once and says, I'll do it again for the title.
Yeah, he's very confident, very vocal after beating Pereira at Glory 40 Copenhagen, especially in his last fight. He just looked so dominant with a TKO win over Jason Wilness, the former middleweight champion. So Bulgari has a ton of confidence coming in tonight.
Yusri Bulgari, 23-3 with 11 knockouts. He's only 25 years old. And Joe, every time we've seen him fight, he gets better and better.
Yeah, and that's because he comes from the good camp in Mike's gym, and he's putting the time in. He's training twice a day, every day. Right after his camp, he's back into training. So he's got the team to make him better.
Maybe the most confident fighter on the card tonight. He feels it's a foregone conclusion that he'll be the middleweight champion, telling Alex Pereira, make sure to remember to bring the belt because it's mine and I want to take it home.
He was crowned contender tournament champion in his debut in Zagreb. Here is Alex Pereira.
Fighting out of Brazil. He's a Glory middleweight champion. He won it in October, Joe, and Glory will be going to Brazil next year in April. He was given the choice, hey, do you want to wait and defend your title in Brazil? He said, no, I want to get back in the ring as soon as possible. And here he is 2 months later defending his title against a very dangerous opponent.
Yeah, and he's defending it against the guy he lost to. So in that last fight, he said he hurt his shin and he wasn't able to use his kicks because it was a tournament format and they met in the finals. So he says he's fully healed. He's a complete fighter. But I still feel his advantage is in his boxing, but let's see if he could mix up his strikes really well.
And according to Nick Kalankis, Alex Pereira, the champion, is a 2-1 underdog. Here is our tail of the tape for this. The Glory Middleweight Championship of the World. Yusri Belgari, 25 years old. He's 6'5". That's an inch taller than Pereira, but it's Pereira who has an 1.5 inch reach edge.
Looking at professional experience, both guys still very experienced, but it's Pereira that has the edge in professionals.
Here's our fight metric report. Alex Pereira has been knocked down once. Belgari has not been knocked down, but he did stop Jason Wilness with a big cut over his eye, so that's not technically a knockdown, but it was a TKO.
And you're going to see just how active a fighter Belgari is. He likes to throw and he gets hit less, where Pereira's more even with his strike differential.
Championship rules. We will go 5 rounds if need be, 3 minutes each. Punches, kicks, and knees are the legal strikes. 3 knockdowns in a round or 4 in the fight, and we've got a TKO.
Let's take a look at the scoring for the fight using the following prioritized criteria, starting with knockdowns, followed by cumulative damage inflicted, followed by number of clean scoring strikes with an emphasis on spectacular techniques. Finally, if there's no clear advantage, judges are looking for aggression.
We do have open scoring tonight. 5 judges will score it on a 10-point must system. You'll know where each of these fighters stands after each and every round, and so will they.
Let's take a look at my keys to glory. And it's for Pereira to utilize his boxing, and he's got to use his footwork against those vicious knees of Belgari, where Belgari's going to need to put the pressure on Pereira and mix up his strikes using his kicks and his knees.
This is your headline super fight of the evening. 5 rounds for the middleweight championship of the world, featuring a champion drawing on the warrior spirit of his ancestors and a challenger fighting for the pride of his Dutch homeland. This bout sanctioned by the International Sport Kickboxing Association and at the bell, your referee is Paul Nichols. From Rotterdam to Rome, Glory kickboxing fans are watching in over 180 countries around the world. It's time for Glory! Let's meet the challenger fighting out of the black corner. He is a European champion and contender tournament champion coming in on a 4-fight win streak. His professional record, 23 wins with 3 losses, 10 of those wins coming by way of knockout. At 6 feet 5 inches tall, 1.96 meters, he weighed in at 186.5 pounds, 84.5 kilograms. fighting out of Tunisia. He is the #1 contender in the world. He is Yusri Belgari. His opponent fighting out of the white corner claimed the belt with a dominant performance in Guangzhou. His professional record, 26 wins with 6 losses and 16 career knockouts. At 6 feet 4 inches tall, 1.94 meters, he weighed in at 187 1/2 pounds and even 85 kilograms. He's here in Rotterdam tonight, fighting out of Sao Paulo, Brazil, and is the reigning and defending Glory middleweight champion of the world. It's Alex Poatan Pereira. Once again, your referee in charge of this championship bout is Paul Nichols.
Gentlemen, you understand the rules that you're fighting to. Protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. It's a world title fight, so I expect you to fight for it. Touch gloves if you like.
Neither man is intimidated. Will Alex Pereira lose his title almost as soon as he won it, or can he beat Belgari in front of his home fans? Here we go. 5 rounds for the middleweight championship of the world.
Pereira came out with a lot of good energy, trying to bring the fight right away to Belgari.
A lot of trash talk between these two, through translators, of course. Nice high kick from Belgari.
Yeah, Belgari's going to do a good job at mixing his strikes, mixing his kicks and his knees, where Pereira's going to focus a lot on his boxing.
Belgari training out of Big Mike's gym in Amsterdam. And a nice uppercut from Belgari.
That's the pressure he needs to put on against Pereira.
I talked to Myrtle Brunhart, who fights out of the same gym, asked him what he thought about sparring with Belgari. He says, I hate it, not so much because he beats me up, because I can't hit him. 6 foot 5 inches. Nice combo there from Belgari.
Yep, Belgari's knees are very dangerous. That's how we caught Jason Wilness. He's going to mask those knees behind punches. And this is the first time Belgari's going 5 rounds, so let's see how the extra 2 rounds, if it goes that far, play out.
Pereira, his career began as a boxer. Was very successful, but fell in love with kickboxing and made the switch. Turns out it was a very good move. But he is very hand-based, is he not, Joe?
Yeah, very hand-based, but he keeps saying that he's a complete kickboxer now, and we have seen some kicks from him in this fight so far.
Belgari sticking and moving, inside, outside, oh, he's hit Pereira right on the temple with a right hand.
Yeah, he's moving on angles too, trying to find that lead uppercut.
Break! Break! Fight! Belgari, 25 years old. Big Mike told us, I knew I had a champion the moment he stepped in my gym. Is tonight the night he cashes in on that promise?
Belgari switching stances for a second. Probably something they've been working on.
Total strikes, you can see it's Belgari who's outlanded the Brazilian 2-1. Break! Fight!
Nice left hook from Pereira.
That caught Belgari.
Pereira's got some sneaky power to him.
There's another shot right as the bell rings. So a very entertaining round 1. It flew by. Joe, who do you give the edge to there?
It was a very exciting round. It started off with Pereira, but I think I'm going to give a slight advantage to Belgari in this round.
In the corner of Pereira is Guto Innocent, a top 5 ranked heavyweight. And here's a little bit more about Pereira. He's nicknamed Poatan. Traditional name among the indigenous people of Brazil. And his fighting style, we told you, basically a boxer with some kicks every now and then.
His opponent, Yusri Belgari, as Todd mentioned, only 25 years old from Mike's gym. Recently changed from being a kicker into more of a puncher, being able to diversify his attacks. He won the contender tournament at Glory 40 Copenhagen with a win against his opponent tonight, Alex Pereira.
Guto Innocent is in the corner for Pereira, but he also has some more fans here that made the trip.
Yeah, Big Nog came to support Pereira and Guto himself, so we've got to see Big Nog around the hotel all week.
Round 2 scheduled for 5. The middleweight championship of the world is on the line. Nice question mark kick for Belgaro. And all 5 judges did give it to Yusri.
Nice combination work from Pereira.
Good combination for Belgaro, who's putting on the pressure now.
Yeah, that's his key to this fight. He's got to stay busy.
Another knee in the corner. Pereira's absorbing some of these shots, blocking a few as well.
A lot of energy expenditure for Belgari. Let's see if he can manage to sustain the pace.
Break! Fight! Break!
To the head. Fight!
Paul Nichols warning Belgari for the shots to the back of the head.
Pereira telling us that he eats, sleeps, and dreams about kickboxing. That's all he does. He has no hobbies. All he is a fighter. That's why he wanted to get back in the ring so soon after winning the world title over in China. And what was his key to winning that fight against Simon Marcus back in October?
Well, he was doing a good job using his boxing and attacking going backwards, which was a good strategy for him. And he's got to stay busier here. He did throw a good body punch in the mix.
Break!
Watch forearm. Watch forearm.
Fight! Spinning back fist, Pereira saw it coming. Pereira 26-6 with 16 wins by knockout. That's a 61% knockout ratio. He's got the power in both hands.
Yeah, and he's really relying on his left hook. Seems like he's really trying to catch Yusri with the left. I do like when Pereira...
He caught him with a right! Belgari goes sprawling back into the ropes. Belgari claims it didn't hurt him, but it seemed like a very legitimate shot from Pereira. And there's another one. And Belgari looked like he almost went down. He's wobbly right now. Pereira closing in, and he gets a shot off after the bell. Whoa. What an explosive finish there to round 2. Belgari wanted to go after Pereira.
It looked like a late shot from Pereira, but at the end of the first round, I think Yusri hit Pereira late.
Let's take you back to the end of the round here. The best moment of the fight for Pereira by far.
Yeah, that was that solid right hand. We can't hear when the bell went, but it was definitely after the bell.
Paul Nichols doing a good job keeping Belgari away. This thing could have gotten out of hand.
Yusri needs to stay calm and relaxed. There's a lot of fight left.
Here's that shot in real time. Clearly after the bell.
Yeah, really late.
Whoa. And you know, Paul Nichols could have taken a point away for sure.
Yeah, easily. But I think in the end of the first round, it was Yusri who threw not as bad of a late shot, but Both guys need to keep their emotions in check.
Well, lost in the commotion there of that late punch is the fact that Pereira rocked Belgarwi for sure. Let's see if the judges gave the Brazilian round 2. Only one did, the other 4 going with Belgarwi. So he has a 2-round lead on 4 judges' scorecards. The other one has it even. Who would you have scored that round for?
Well, I kind of liked Pereira just because of the damage in that shot, but Belgarwi's output is really dominating as well, so still a close round regardless.
And who knows, if Belgarwi wasn't close to the ropes when he went sprawling backwards, he may have gone down with that punch. Either way, it's a confidence booster for Pereira, who knows that he can hurt Belgarwi. Nice jab. Seems like those knees are the way to go for Belgarwi.
Yeah, his knees are so vicious when he mixes them with his punches. But Pereira has some dangerous knees of his own.
2 tall middleweights, 6'5" and 6'4".
That was a hard knee that almost hit the body.
Total knees, 5 for Pereira, a little bit surprising.
Yusri's finding a good home with that right hand. Both guys are.
A couple of punches landed, you can see the spit flying out of Belgarwi's mouth.
Yeah, that was a left hook from Pereira.
On a right hand, buckles Belgarwi. He almost went down. Can Pereira close the show? Belgarwi going to be given an 8 count because the ropes kept him up. A massive cut exploding over the right eye of Belgarwi. And it's over. Instantly, the doctor says no. It's done. And Pereira has defended his middleweight championship.
Way to come back for Pereira. He was down 2 rounds, was able to come back, and that's actually how Yusri stopped Jason Wilness. I think Pereira found a good knee in that exchange.
Here's a look at what happened there. A massive shot right there sent Belgarwi backwards, and here comes another one.
Yeah, there was that started with that right hand, and I have to think it was possibly a nice left knee there in that exchange that did that cut. All from that right hand, stumbled him back. Tried that left, he did land a good left hook to the body. Beautiful setup.
There's the knee, and how ironic is it that in Belgarwi's last fight, it was a knee to Jason Wilness that stopped the fight because of a cut, and Pereira just did the same thing to Belgarwi.
Yeah, that setup was beautiful because he hit the body of Yusri, which brought his elbow down and opened up the knee to the head. Beautiful setup from Pereira.
And there he is, and still middleweight champion of the world, Alex Pereira. We make it official when we return to the Glory Super Fight Series.
So, if you want real fights, real knockouts, I can tell you one thing. I challenge all fighters who think they have something to tell between these ropes to fight against me. I don't care who, I don't care when, I'm ready for everybody. So, if they think they can fight, stand-up fights, real knockouts, I guarantee you, everybody who wanna fight against me, get knocked out.
Welcome back to the sold-out Ahoy Arena in Rotterdam, and what a show Alex Pereira put on there in round 3.
Yeah, in the first 2 rounds, it was Belgara being the busier fighter, really landing good punches, mixing in his knees. And the second round, too, was a better round for Pereira, but the judges still gave it to Belgari. But that's how it ended, with Belgari getting frustrated with the late hit from Pereira. And then in round 3, Pereira found a home with that right hand, came in, hit the body, and just finished with that nice left knee, splitting Yusri Belgari's eye right open.
And great job by Paul Nichols to jump right in there. He saw how bad that cut was. The doctor looked at it for about a half second and said, Belgari is done. Here's your final strike count statistics. 50 landed strikes for Pereira compared to 63 for the Tunisian.
Strikes landed by zone. Belgari really focusing on the head punches and his kicks to the body. But ultimately, it was that knee from Pereira that did the finish.
Ladies and gentlemen, our ringside doctor has stopped this contest with an official time of 1 minute 52 seconds of that third round. It's ruled a technical knockout for your winner, and still Glory Middleweight Champion of the World, Alex Pereira. Here to present the Glory Belt, our Chief Executive Officer, John Franklin, and Glory Board member from Liberty Global, Mr. Bruce Mann.
Alex, congratulations, and still, you guys have fought before in the past. Was there anything that surprised you about Belgari this time around?
Parabéns, Alex, pela sua vitória. E teve alguma coisa que te surpreendeu em relação à última luta sobre o Bulgário?
Não, acho que não. Nada foi surpresa. Ele fez o mesmo jogo. No primeiro foi um pouquinho diferente. Tentou colocar algumas técnicas. Não ficou aquele jogo amarrando. Deu pra me desenrolar bem o primeiro round. E no segundo foi a mesma coisa. Ele veio um pouquinho diferente, mas talvez um pouquinho mais fácil para mim.
Not surprised me, but he did a little different game. But I was ready for everything. Then not surprised me.
Thank you so much. Congratulations again. Rotterdam, give it up for your champion.
Well, he earned it, Joe, and it was funny when we had our fighter interviews. Afterwards, Alex Pereira walked over to Tim Hughes and said, let me hear it, and made Tim say, and still.
Yeah, he needed that extra little motivation to visualize the win, and he got it from Tim Hughes tonight.
So now, what next for Alex Pereira? You gotta believe that he wants to be on that fight card in Brazil, tentatively scheduled for April in his hometown of Sao Paulo.
Well, there's a bunch of talented middleweights that really want a shot at him. I'm sure Simon Marcus wants to get back. I'm sure Jason Wilness wants a shot. New contender and Rob Thomas. So a lot of good talented fights for Pereira in the future.
And Yusri Belgari, as soon as that cut gets hit, I'm sure he wants another crack as well. He was doing well until that final sequence. Well, that's going to do it for our Glory Super Fight Series. Coming up next exclusively on pay-per-view, it's Glory Redemption, headlined, of course, by Rico Verhoeven taking on Jamal Binsby. Quickly, your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's a great fight. I think Rico's going to have to use some good destructive strategy, take Jamal in the later rounds, where Jamal's going to look for that one-punch power.
This sold-out crowd cannot wait for that, and we hope you join us as well. UFC.tv. Order it right now. Hey, I want to say thanks to all of our Glory crew. They are fantastic, whether we're in the United States or over here in Europe. Want to recognize them very quickly. It's been a magical 2017, and we can't wait to see you next time, Glory 50 in Chicago in February.